The last 6 months, I've been living between New York City and LA pretty consistently, but it's only been the last month or so that I've decided to officially label myself as bi-coastal. And that is because I think I was low-key manifesting my current situation for like 6 months and just had absolutely no idea that's what I was doing. Because the difference is now, when I'm out there, I actually have a job/project that I'm supposed to be out there for. But traveling so frequently between New York and LA has really shifted my perspective on dating, and I really want to talk about it. So when I first started spending a significant amount of time on the West Coast, my opinion on dating out there was pretty much that like it was 100% casual. I decided for myself that if I was dating in New York, that I considered New York like my real home and I could take things a little more seriously, like see things being a little bit more long term. But then if I was like swiping on dating apps when I was in California, then that was just for funsies and I wasn't gonna take it seriously. And then I accidentally fell in love with someone who lives on the West Coast and it ended really badly. So then the next time that I went out to LA, I completely hid the fact that I was there. I didn't post anything while I was there on social media. I only posted as if I was in New York. Like I just posted drafts the whole time. I turned off all my dating apps out there and pretty much just decided that like anytime I was in LA, like I wasn't gonna have dating apps on my phone and I was only gonna date when I was in New York. I ended up flying to Vegas before I went home to New York, as I usually do. While I was in Vegas, I matched with this girl who lived back home in New York. I'm not sure how that happened. We went on a date and everything was fine. Like, it was a good date. I definitely wanted to see her again, but then I had to go back out of town. And while I was out of town, I was really busy, so I wasn't like messaging her a shitload. And by the time I got back, she had sent me a message that was basically like, I'm looking for something that has more interest and more follow-up than this, and I don't want to see you anymore. I found this to be a little bit strange, to be completely honest, because I was only gone for 5 days, and we had just gone on a date like 2 days before I left, so we're talking about all of this happening in like literally a week. And I felt like it was way too much too soon, and I took it kind of as like a red flag about her, honestly. And I just like was like, okay, no worries, like I totally get it, and like moved on. But like now that I look back at the situation, I feel like I totally dodged a bullet. Personally, I feel like if you're looking for a lot from someone who you've been on one date with and you just met one time, who you know is out of town and isn't really available because they're working, if you're like really pressed over that, to me that's like a red flag that like you might not be understanding of my life, and like you might just need a lot more than I can give you. I'm about to go back out to LA for work again, and I'm kind of setting myself up for the same situation, and at first I was really nervous about it. Basically, I have a date on Monday with someone I'm really excited about. Like, I actually haven't been this excited for a first date in a really long time, and I don't know why. Like, I just have like a good feeling about this girl. I think because when we matched on the dating app, she messaged me and had like a really, really good pickup line. I can't remember exactly what her words were, but it was basically like, she didn't say anything other than just, I think it's our time, or something. Like, it was very smooth. I'm supposed to have dinner with this girl on Monday, and then I'm immediately leaving on a business trip, and I'm gonna be gone for anywhere between 7 to possibly 8, 9, 10, 11 days. I don't really know yet. It was making me really nervous though, and there was a part of me that wanted to like call off the date and be like, hey, maybe we should wait until I get back to meet up. But then I realized it's always going to be the same situation with me and anyone that I'm talking to, because I live this lifestyle now. Like, no matter who I meet, I'm gonna be going across the country in a matter of weeks, no matter what. I was talking to my friend about it though, and they brought up a really good point. They were like, you can't U-Haul if you fly across the country. And that's honestly so true, because I feel like as queer women especially, like we have the tendency to, you know, go too much too quick. Honestly, like having a first date with someone and then immediately flying to the other side of the country and becoming completely preoccupied with your normal life 100% prevents you from too much too soon, because you can't. So now, instead of looking at my current life situation as like something that's gonna keep me from potentially like finding love in my life, I feel like it's the opposite. Because no matter where I meet someone, whether it's New York or LA or whatever the case may be, like they're gonna have to be okay with taking things slow with me. And I feel like that's honestly a true recipe for success. I'm not going to be able to offer someone a full-on, like, overnight full-time relationship. And to be honest, anytime I've ever entered into something like that, like too soon, too quick, it's never worked out for me. I almost feel like living bi-coastally is equally a test for other people in your life as it is for yourself. Because if people don't care about you, they're not going to go through the effort of dealing with the fact that you're not there half the time. It almost feels like a true test of gauging someone's emotional maturity as well as their interest in you. If you're really interested in me, then you're not going to care that I'm about to go on a 10-day business trip because I'll be right back. And if you do care, then you're probably just looking for like instant gratification from me, and that doesn't equal a long, healthy relationship. So now I look at it as almost like a benefit. It almost makes me want to set up dates on purpose, like for right before I leave. Cause like that one girl, for example, who I went on that date with and then was really upset that I wasn't immediately available to her like 24/7. If I had been in New York and that had been happening, I probably would have given in to the excitement of this person being like all about spending time with me. Maybe this is a bit of a leap, but maybe I would have even wound up in some type of like toxic situationship where I was being demanded a lot more energy and, you know, seriousness than I could give to someone that quickly. So I don't know. And I'm not saying you should just start living on opposite sides of the country to gauge people's interest in you and try to suss out their red flags. But maybe treat every first date like you're about to fly across the country for a week. Because not being instantly fully available to people who I meet has been so beneficial for me in realizing what types of people I want to have in my life. It really is true that if you do your own thing and you just don't concern yourself with what other people's expectations of you are, that's when you really start to meet people in your life who aren't in it like just for them, but like understand that life and relationships, friendships, romantic relationships, everything is compromise.